Growing up, I had never played a single Battlefield game. That was until last year, things changed. And I came across Battlefield 1. Steam was having a sale in October, and all of the Battlefield games available on Steam happened to be on sale for a great discount. However, the only game I grabbed was Battlefield 1. It was the only game that caught my attention, as it was one of the few games I know that touches on World War I. Aside from the Black Mill games being developed that focus on World War I, Battlefield 1 covered it very differently. The way DICE covered World War I was through the campaign as well as codexes. Codexes, which can be gathered in the campaign as well as through challenges, give you snippets of the history of World War I. The campaign, however, covers World War I, while not accurately, through war stories. War stories is the campaign of Battlefield 1, which puts you into the perspective of specific wars through the lens of a soldier. The campaign is short, with only around 6 war stories, and a total playtime, if you don't 100% the game, of about 6.5 hours. Battlefield 1's multiplayer is highly praised. It is a bit janky at times, but it's very fun. You technically play as 4 classes: Scout, Support, Medic, and Assault. However, there are others that I'd considered side classes: Rider, Pilot, and Tanker. There are also elite classes: Flame Trooper, Sentry, and Tank Hunter. There are multiple modes, up to around 10, being Air Assault, Conquest, Conquest Assault, Domination, Frontlines, Operations, Rush, Supply Drop, Team Deathmatch, and War Pigeons. Most of these modes are very fast-paced, and a round can end very quickly. Operations, on the other hand, can sometimes be fairly quick, to sometimes take up to 45 minutes to an hour. Really depends on how well both sides play. If they're on equal ground, it will take some time to get through. In multiplayer, you do play on various maps, including those from DLCs, if you've added the DLCs to your library. Speaking of maps, there are around a total of 29 maps. The base game has around 13 maps, the DLC, They Shall Not Pass, has 3, and The Name of Tsar has 6 maps, Turning Tides has 4, and Apocalypse has 3. Every map is a representation of what these locations would have looked like during World War I. Every location is also made through photogrammetry. Even the vehicles, character models, and the weapons are also made through photogrammetry. Photogrammetry is a calculative method used to get realistic measurements and depictions to accurately represent an object. For example, the geographical telemetry in the maps were carefully scanned or photo taken to get a more accurate representation of what these locations would have looked like in World War I. The graphics overall are also really pretty, and despite it being a game in 2016, it sometimes hits the ballpark better than other modern games graphically. While I basically summarized a bit of the multiplayer and campaign, I'd like to cover them in a bit more detail in different videos, and also form my own opinions about war stories and the maps and classes for the multiplayer aspect. Is the game accurate? No. Because of course, there will be inaccuracies, or sometimes things that aren't part of World War I, or never even existed. Overall, the game is really fun, and I highly recommend it. I'm excited to share my thoughts in later videos about the multiplayer and campaign. I hope to see you then. Sip on that coffee, and keep on gaming.